Welcome to Subramani. I hope I don't sound very preachy or arrogant to if I say if you can't take fluctuations in the market, you should not be in the market, right? There is no best way to handle a fall or the greatest way to handle a fall. There is no such thing. There will be a fall. So let me put it very simply. You will see a 10% fall every year. Almost every year you will see the market fall 10% and recover, right? You will see a 20% fall once in 2-3 years, 4 years. You will see a 30% fall maybe once in a decade, right? Some change of government. Everybody expects that the Modi government will sweep in 2024. If it doesn't sweep, what happens? What happens if there is some kind of opposition which comes in? I'm not predicting. I'm just saying, what are we? How prepared are we? So you could see a 30% fall, and in your lifetime, there is a very good chance that you will see a 50% fall also, right? So I have seen a 42% fall in 1993 when my income fell by, hold your breath, 95%. 95% fall in my income happened in the year 1993. These things will happen, and it is your question of ability to be able to sit tight during such times. So I hope I'm not being very preachy in the sense saying, oh, you got experience, therefore you're talking. Yes, of course I'm talking because I have experience, but I have over 40 years plus experience. I know one thing: there is no economist, chartered accountant, lawyer, share broker who has been able to predict the fall in the market and the periodicity for which it will fall. Oh, the market will fall 30%. I'm perfectly capable of saying that. How long will it remain there? Will it come back? When will it come back? That we do not know. But one thing I know, market always comes back. If you had invested 100 rupees in 1979 in the index, no, it was not available, but I'm just saying as an example, today the TRI is about 90,000, 90,000. So your money has grown 900 times in this 21 plus 22, 43 years, right? That is what has happened, provided you sat tight over a long period of time. Now, go back to the Motilal Oswal saying, buy right, sit tight. You'll never be able to buy right? So you buy a lot of shares, then you keep on throwing out things which you don't want. You are very careful in what you're buying, but still some bad shares get into your portfolio. So you have to buy right and you have to sit tight. You have to do that. Now when I'm saying buy right, you buy a share and after 4 or 5 years you find it is not good, you will replace it, right? So you will get rid of shares which don't fit your profile, something changes in the economy or some reason because of which you have to make that change, you will make that change. Nothing wrong with that. So you will buy right, and your lifelong journey is about getting it right. You bought something, you didn't like it, you thought it was wrong, you sold it, right? You bought a particular share, then it is getting merged into another share, you don't like the ratio, so you're buying the bigger share or the smaller share, whatever is right? So those kind of things you will keep doing. So buy right doesn't mean it is etched in stone. Unless you are an index investor, then you will just buy the index and you sit tight. That's fine. But then you keep on buying the index. Whenever you have money, you go and buy the index. That again is a very sensible strategy. So the market falls 10%, you buy. Market falls 20%, you buy. Market falls 50%, you still buy. Now the question is, if you don't have nerves of a Charlie Munger or a Warren Buffett or any of those people, what you can do is reduce the amount of money that you put in equity. Now if you have very strong equity conviction and you have been in it for a very long period of time, maybe you are 80-90% in equity. Some of us are, I'm 90% in equity always. So I know I can stand a 30% fall or a 40% fall. I know my dividends will take care of me. Even in a time when I'm not earning anything, my dividends will be more than enough for me to live my life. So I have those kind of cushions built in. If you've not built in those cushions, it will be more risky for you. So if the market falls and you lose your sleep, that's not a great portfolio to have. Your portfolio should let you eat peacefully and sleep peacefully, because ultimately we're in this business profession, whatever you want to call, for making money for ourselves, right? That's the main aim. So we are not here for fun. We are not here for the kick, we are here for making money. So if it does not give you comfort, then you should reduce the amount you have in equity. Maybe you put 50% in equity, maybe you put 60% in equity, maybe you put 10% in equity. Learn about equity slowly and then keep on increasing the allocation to equity as you learn. Nothing wrong with any of these processes. You need to understand that markets will fluctuate, markets will fall, and markets will fall completely at unexpected times. All these things will happen. To think that you will be able to predict the market, the amount of fall is wrong. And I can always give you some best strategies to avoid and worst mistakes that I made and things like that, but it does not mean anything. Your ability to sit tight is important. So we will see some of the things that you have to do. First of all, understand what is long term. Long term is not 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 years. No, long term is always in decades and generations. Equity wealth has been created in equities. Wealth has been created in equities across generations. Don't look at Warren Buffett. He started at 11 and he is 92. That is 8 decades, right? If you are going to be invested for 8 minutes, then equity market is not the place for you. It's not the place for me also if I look at such a short duration. So most wealth which I see getting created over long periods of time is about 5, 6, 7 decades. Warren Buffett is one of those rare characters who gets 8 decades of compounding of his own money, right? But if you see a Birla or a Wadia or any of those people, it is a multi-decadal, multi-generational wealth creation. 170 years of compounding is what Kumar Mangalam Birla's portfolio is. 170, 180 years is what Wadia's or Godrej and all have done. That is the kind of time frame over which they have created wealth. It is not created overnight, right? So step 1, understand that. Equity is for the long term, and that is something which you have to understand. Buy and hold works. Buy and hold works very well, but you should know what to buy. So going back to the Motilal Oswal formula, buy right, sit tight. And that getting it right is not going to happen overnight. So you're going to keep buying, selling, buying, selling. So that buy right means it's a iteration process. There is a process, right? You will keep on, you will get rid of some shares, you will buy some shares. So buy right, sit tight. That combination will work. Frequent trading is good for your broker. It may not be good for you. Yes, you will sell. There is no problem. You bought a share on a Monday and by Friday you realize something is wrong with it. You sold it. That's fine. You bought it at 72. You sold it at 69. That's great. You made a loss, but you got rid of the share, right? So some of these things you can do, you will do, you must do. But then frequent trading just is not investing. Trading is not investing. So you should know that. When you get confused between trading and investing, good chance that you are going to lose money, right? How you behave when the market falls is far more important than how the market behaves. Market has a much better fixed pattern than what investors behave. Investors should have having a mediocre working financial plan, and working on it is far more important than having the greatest plan and not sticking to it, right? So when the market falls, if you panic or for whatever reasons, you have so much money in the market that when the market falls you panic, it is wrong for you to have put so much money. Maybe you are not ready for that yet. So you have to reduce the amount of money you have in equity. And for heaven's sake, if you are a couple, please involve the husband and the wife when you are investing, because sometimes what happens is when people make losses, they don't want to tell their better half, and then when the better half finds out there is a fight, then they sell off at that on that day whatever it is. So 100 has become 70 rupees, and on that day the wife finds out that you have done something stupid, or she thinks what you have done is stupid. So she screams at you. So you say, okay, from now onwards I will not do, and you sell off at 70, and then you find the market coming back to 100. Don't do this. Involve your spouse with whatever decisions that you are taking, because it's her money and your money. Even if she's not earning, it is her money and your money, because she's given her life to you. She's given you kids, she's looking after the kids, she's looking after you. So therefore, please understand this is family money, and you cannot take the risk of losing it in the market because one of you don't understand how equity markets behave. Equity markets behave far more rationally than equity investors, right? So then don't blame each other, and there's no point in fighting over something which both of you don't understand, right? So if you are scared when the market goes down, reduce the amount of money you have in equity. Not having adequate insurance is a very stupid thing, because if you don't have adequate medical insurance, in case of an emergency you will sell, and that may not be the most appropriate time to sell, right? So you have to build a lot of fences around yourself, saying what will stop me from doing a panic sale. So don't buy because the market is going up, don't sell because the market is going down. Both are wrong reasons for you to be acting in the market, right? The ability to sit tight comes from maybe meditation, maybe from gardening, maybe from cooking, maybe from playing a game of cricket, right? All those things, anything which teaches you patience, anything which teaches you endurance, all that is useful in your investing process. So do all those things. If you don't have a profession other than your investing, chances are you will fiddle with your portfolio more often, right? Buying when everybody else is selling is easy to say. You will never end up doing that, simply because we were very lucky that during our investing days or investing times, there was not so much of noise. Economic times used to be expensive, and nobody bought economic times at home. It just started when I was in school. Just while finishing school, we started buying economic times at home, maybe just to see the prices or whatever, but that was very a rarity, right? So 1980s, nobody bought economic times. Economic times was something which was kept in the office for people to read. Then of course economic times turned pink, and it became the pink papers and all that, right? So those were the days. Buying and holding is not going to be very easy. It's going to be very difficult. Understand that, and accordingly decide how much money you want to be keeping in the market, right? Compound interest makes you rich, but compound interest, the most important thing is N in the formula for compound interest, and N is time. So give your portfolio time. If you don't give your portfolio time, you're not going to make money. Only your broker is going to make money, right? Successful investing does not have much to do with IQ. That is another problem which people have. I'm so intelligent, I should make more money in the market. It's not true at all. If you have I have found that people who are at the lowest rung, if they start doing an SIP and they don't touch it for 20-30 years, it gives the same return which somebody with 280 IQ or whatever is can achieve. So it's got nothing to do with your IQ. It is just your question of, am I able to leave it alone? Am I under pressure from my spouse, from my wife, from my parents, from my children, etc., etc., from the market, from YouTube channels? Every day you find YouTube channels coming up with saying the best shares to buy, the best shares to sell, the worst mistakes I made, right? So these are very attractive taglines which attracts a lot of people. So every YouTuber who's in financial services is happy to copy something from somewhere and say this is the best and things like that. That attracts a lot of people. So you say, oh my god, this guy's got 1 million subscribers, this guy's got 1.5 million subscribers, so he must be doing something right, which is again right, but the question is it good enough for you? Is it appropriate for you? Check out all that. That will make you a good equity investor. Equity investing is more about taking care of your behavior than worrying about market behavior. Market does what it has to do. You have to do what you have to do. Thank you.